Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to Emoji Economics. My name is Oluwale Godwin. Are you seeing the same video again? No. If you've seen the video on demand and supply equilibrium analysis with simultaneous equations, part 1, this is part 2. Now, I promised in that video that I'll be attempting this same question using the substitution method and as well as the elimination method. And I also mentioned that when we start our class on matrices and determinant, there's going to be a class, or there should be a class in between this and matrices, and that class should be about solving, three variable simultaneous equations. So where we'll be having three simultaneous equations, and then we'd have to look for the respective prices. Let's say price of three commodities now, and we'll be looking for the equilibrium quantities, like three quantities. So that should be in between. And if I don't do that now, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. So that's a promise. So we are taking this same question again using the elimination method. If this is the first video you are seeing, you might as well, you are going to understand it basically, but you might as well just go to part 1 of this particular class. So I'll be leaving the playlist on the video. So when you get to the end of this video, you see the playlist icon. So just click on the playlist and it will take you to where all of these videos are, and you can just go back and check the first class where we made use of the substitution method. It's not a big deal, it's pretty much simple. So given the following set of equations for two related goods, egg roll E and bread P, find the equilibrium conditions for each market using the substitution and the elimination method. So here we are using the elimination method. We've used substitution method in the previous video. So we have the demand function for egg roll, which is 82 minus 3p whatever, and we also have its supply function, which is this. Then we have its supply function is minus 5 plus 15pe. We also have the demand function for bread, which is 92 plus 2pe minus 4pb. Then we have the supply function of bread, which is minus 6 plus 32pb. So I named them. The first here is equation 1. Its respective supply function is equation 2. For bread, the demand function is equation 3, and its respective supply function is equation 4. So something that we should note is that since we are looking for equilibrium price and quantities, we have to state it that at equilibrium, it is very important to state it, because if you don't, quantity demanded is not equal to quantity supplied at every point. So to help you, maybe I can just do a little sketching. So let's say we have this. Is this supply or demand? Supply, right? And this is demand. This is supply. So it's only at this price, that quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Alright, so that is why we state that at equilibrium QD equals QS, and there is a kind of price where that occurs. So if you do not state this and you just say QDE equals QSE, well, fine. So if price were here, P1 were here, so are you trying to say that this is on the supply curve, right? Are you trying to say that this quantity supplied is equal to this quantity demand? Is that what you're trying to say? So that's why it is important for you to know. So to state that at equilibrium, QD equals QS, please note that and note that well. So now we start with the egg roll market. So its demand function is equal to its supply function at equilibrium. Now what is the demand function? That is this, 82 minus 3pe plus pb. Then the supply function is minus 5 plus 15pe. So we just do this to collect like things. So this is 82, minus 5 comes, it becomes a plus 5, minus 3pe, this becomes a minus 15pe, then plus pb equals 0. So this plus this is 87, minus 3 minus 15 is minus 18 PE, then plus PB equals 0. Then we take the constant to stay on the other side. So we have minus 18 PE plus PB equals minus 87, and that is called equation 5. So now let's solve equation 6. Is it 6 now? Yeah, equation 6 ourselves. So at equilibrium, don't mind my handwriting. I wished my kindergarten teacher took me more seriously by helping with my handwriting. But who knows? Who said life is fair? Life is fair. Alright, so manage my poor handwriting that way. So we have QDB at equilibrium. QDB equals QSB. Okay, as for the markets, for the bread market, so we have 92 plus 2PE, 92 plus 2PE minus 4, this is too much, minus 4PB equals minus 6 plus 32, minus 6 plus 32PB 2p. So we collect like terms, and then we have 92 plus 6, okay, plus 2pe minus 4pb minus 32pb equals 0. So we have a 98 plus 2pe, okay, then minus, is it 30, okay, minus 4 minus 32 is going to give us minus 36 pb equals 0. So we take the constant to the other side. So we have 2pe minus 36 pb equals minus 98. And this is how we get our equation 6. So what we do now is to combine equation 5 and 6. Combine equation 5 and 6. So combine equation 5 and 6. So when we do that, so what's equation 5? Equation 5 is minus 18pe plus pb equals minus 87, right? Then equation 6 is 2pe minus 36pb equals minus 98. So what do we then call the elimination method? Because this is what we want to do. We want to eliminate a variable, okay? So that's what we mean by saying elimination method. We want to eliminate a variable. So how do we do that? So here, one that I chose in this script, what variable am I eliminating? So let's assume that we are eliminating the price of hair grow. We want to eliminate PE from these two functions. So what we have to do is to look for the coefficients of PE in equation 5, that's minus 18, right? Then we use that coefficient to multiply the other equation. So we use minus 18 to multiply this entire equation. That's not the end. We do the same thing here. So what is the coefficient of PE in equation 6? It is 2, right? Then we use 2 to multiply the entire equation 5. Now that's still English language. Let's get to business. So what we just do is to eliminate PE. To eliminate PE, okay, multiply equation 6 by the coefficient of PE, in equation 5, okay, and do likewise. And multiply the coefficient. No, don't let me write it here. I think I'll use that space. The coefficients. Multiply equation 5. Multiply equation 5 by the coefficient of PE in equation 6. So what does that mean? So what we just have to do, what that means is we multiply this equation 5 by 2, and then we multiply equation 6 by minus 18 because we want to eliminate PE. If we are choosing to eliminate PB, okay, we are going to, what's the coefficient of PB here? It is 1. PB is equal to 1 PB rather. So that would have been, we would have multiplied this equation by 1, equation 6 by 1, and then we would have multiplied equation 5 by minus 36. So after we are done with this particular video, so you could decide to eliminate PB and see if you are going to get the same answer. So I'm giving that as an assignment, a voluntarily compulsory assignment. So if you like to do it, but it would be nice if you could do it. Alright. So this becomes 2 into brackets minus 18 PE plus PB. Note what I'm doing, equals minus 87. Everything stays like that. Then here minus 18 multiplies the other one. Minus 18 into bracket 2 PE minus 36 PB equals minus 98. So 2 times minus 18 will give us minus 36 PE. 2 times this is going to give us plus 2 PB. Then 2 times minus 87 is going to give us 174, I think. Minus 174. So this gives us equation what? 7. Good. Now we do the same thing here. Minus 18 times this is going to give us minus 36 PE. Minus times minus is going to be plus. 18 times 36 is 648. So we have 648 PB equals minus 18 times minus 98. That's going to give us minus 18 times minus 19, that means plus 1764. So we just have 1764. This is equation what? 8. Alright, so if you look at this, so we just subtract equation 8 from equation 7. Subtract, so I have to write these, to make things simple. Subtract equation 8 from 7. Subtract equation 8 from equation 7. So what is that going to give us? So we have, well, it's going to be minus 36. So what we are doing is, okay, let me just write it out. Doesn't take us anything. 36 PE minus 36 PE plus 2 PB equals minus 174. Alright, and then we have minus 36 PE plus 648 PB equals minus 1764. So what we are saying is just minus, put a minus here, minus here, minus here. So minus 36 minus 36. So that's going to give us minus 36 plus 36. Minus 36 minus 36. Minus 1 minus 1 is going to give us minus 1 plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is just 0. So that's the same that is happening here. So this becomes 0. Then this is plus 2PB minus plus 648. So if you understand this plus and minus whatever very well, how to multiply them. So this is going to be 2 minus 648. That's what it's saying essentially. 2 minus 648, and that is minus 646 PB. Of course. Then minus 174 minus 17. No, there's no minus here. There's no minus here. So minus 174 minus 1764. So you are subtracting 174 and you are subtracting 1764 again. So you have a kind of bigger subtraction. So minus 174 minus 1764 again is going to give us minus 1938 minus 1938. So essentially this is what you have, minus 646 PB equals minus 1938. So minus cancels minus, you divide through by 646. By 646, this cancels this, and the price of P is 3. So we call it equilibrium price, since we are talking about equilibrium price. So 1938 divided by 646 will give us 3. You can punch that on your calculator and see what you're going to get. So how then do we get the price of bread? How then do we get the price of egg roll, the equilibrium price of egg roll? So the funny thing here is you can substitute the price of egg roll into equation 5, equation 6, equation 7, equation 8, because they all represent equilibrium equations. Alright, so we did QD equals QS to get this, equation 5. We did QD equals QS to get equation 6. Then we multiply by coefficient of PE to get equation 7. So they are essentially the same thing. The equations are essentially the same thing. So we just choose one of them. So which one am I choosing? Which one did I choose here? So substitute PB in any of the equilibrium equations. Okay, so now we are choosing equation 5. Does it look simple? Okay, this equation, alright. So substitute the price of bread in equation 5. Substitute the value of PB star in equation 5. So what's equation 5? That's minus 18 PE, okay, that's what we are looking for, minus 18 PE, alright, plus PB. What is PB? PB is 3 equals minus 87, right? Good. Minus 87, so we have minus 18 PE equals minus 87 minus 3, and minus 18 PE now equals minus 90. So we divide through by minus 18, and then PE equals 5. PE equals 5. So PE, it's an equilibrium price. Okay, so PE equals 5. Alright. Because this price also results into an equilibrium, so that equals 5. So now what we are going to do is we want to get the respective quantity demand and quantity supply. Just as I explained in the previous video, you can substitute that value into any of equation 1 to 4. So if you put here, you'll be needing the two prices to get the quantity demanded, needing the two prices to get the quantity demanded for bread. But here, you'll be needing just the price of bread to get its quantity supply, and the price of egg rolls to get its quantity supply. Alright, since we are talking about equilibrium, wherever we put our PE, PB, as the case may be, we must have the same answer for each of the markets. So this has to be equal to this because that was where we started from, and this has to be equal to this. So let me rub up the board a little bit so I will have space to do that. Okay, so for egg roll, so QDE, I'm not going to write the entire QDE equals 82 minus 3. What is PE? I think that's 5, then plus PB, which is 3. So 82 minus 15 plus 3, that gives us 70. Okay, let's use the supply function as well to see if what we have is correct. QSE equals minus 5 plus 15 into bracket 5. That's minus 5 plus 75, and that's going to give us 70. So we say, so now it is sure that QD equals QSE equals Q star. Alright, so what about the price of bread? So we have Q, the quantity demanded of bread, for example, for this example, whatever, plus 2, then PE is 5, PE is 5 minus 4, into bracket 3, I think. So we have 92 plus 10 minus 12, and this is going to give us 90. So let's see what the supply function is telling us. Supply function is minus 6 plus 32 into what is the price of bread? 3. So and that's going to give us minus 6 plus 96, which is then as 90. So here QDB equals QSB equals Q star. Let me just say QB star rather. So equilibrium quantity of bread, QB star, and this is equilibrium quantity of egg roll, Q star. So now the final question that I want us to know, that I want us to deal with is, the question says that the goods are related. So are the goods substitutes or complements? So when we have a question that says two goods are related, so what does it mean? Does it mean that when the price of one increases, the quantity, the demand for the other falls, or the demand for the other good rises? So if there is a relationship, you say that okay, they are related in they are related. The relationship might be strong, it might be weak, it might be whatever. So here now I want to get, so how do we, you don't have to solve anything to know the relationship that exists between egg roll and bread, not because of your world knowledge of the two goods, but because of the questions in front of you. So I'm not asking you to like bring in the real world knowledge into this. Just look at the functions and tell us if they are complement or substitute. Okay, now look at this function, the demand function for egg roll. It's what we just have to do is to check the price. Now the price, the sign beside the price. So the sign beside the price of egg roll is minus, right? Okay, and simply means that if you increase this, okay, if you increase the price of egg roll by 1 unit, for example, without changing anything here, the quantity demanded is going to fall by 3 units because there to be minus 3 times 1. So this quantity is going to drop by minus 3. So that shows that there is a negative relationship between the quantity demanded of this commodity and its own price, which is basically what we know from the law of demand, that an increase in price, other things being equal, will lead to a reduction in the quantity demanded of a particular, of the same commodity. Now, what we are interested in is the other price. Now, the other price, which is the price of bread, it has a positive sign beside it. And this is just saying that if the price of bread should rise, other things being equal, that is nothing here changing, if the price of bread should rise by 1, the demand now, okay, the demand of egg roll would increase by 1. All right, so if this happens to be the same, nothing changing, and the price of bread increases by 10, then the demand for egg roll will go up by 10. So that is what it means. So what kind of relationship is that? Let us just plot something out. The price of bread goes up, okay, then the other part of the story that we are not hearing from this is that the quantity demanded of bread would fall, from what we know in the theory of demand, other things being equal. Now, nothing happens to the price of, we assume that the price of this guy is constant, so nothing happens to this price. So we have the price of being constant, I use this to represent constancy, but then the demand is rising. The demand of egg roll is rising just because the price of the related good increased. Okay, so what does this tell us? This tells us that an increase in the price of bread is making the consumers of bread to reduce their quantity demanded of bread, and then making them to buy more of egg roll whose price has not risen. Okay, so if you are buying less of one good and you are buying more of the other one, simply because the price of the first good rose, the goods are substitutes. They are in competitive demand. They are competing, and two people can take first at the same time. In this, two products can take first position in this scenario. So one has to come down for the other to go up. So they are competing. So if you buy less of one, you buy more of the other. Now, what about, we can also use the demand. We don't use supply functions to note if two goods are related in some way or the other. It's demand function that we make use of. All about the demand, at least to my present level of understanding. So I don't know, things evolve. What about the demand function for bread? So this is saying, now look at it. This is the demand, quantity demanded for bread. So this is the price of egg roll, and there's a plus sign here, and that is telling us that if the price of egg roll should increase, other things being equal, okay, the demand for bread would rise. If the price of this should rise, the demand for bread would rise, other things being equal. That is, assume that this isn't changing, and other factors affecting the demand for bread isn't changing. So what does that tell us? So if, now let us, before getting there, let's come to this point. There's a negative sign here, so which is, this is the price of bread. So an increase in the price of bread would reduce the quantity demanded of bread, since what is this minus. So let's say price of bread, when from what we got now, the price of bread is 3, for example, right? So if the price of bread should rise by 3, so you have, if this happens to be 3 as we've had, so minus 4 times 3 is minus 12, right? So the quantity demanded of bread will fall by 12 units or 12 goods. So that's what it means. Now this is what and that is what the law of demand states basically. The rise in price, reduction in quantity demanded, other things being equal, as long as you are talking about the same good. Now this is what we need. So an increase in the price of egg by, let's say, 1 unit, for example. If the price of egg roll rather were 1, so we expect that the demand for bread will rise by, by 2 units, because this will be 2 multiplied by the price of egg roll. So this would rise by 2. So what kind of goods are they? This is plus, so an increase in the price of egg roll. The other side of the story that we are not hearing here is that it will lead to a reduction in the quantity demanded of egg roll, and then nothing happening to the price of bread. So we assume that it's constant. So it's just the price of egg roll that is rising, other things being equal. Then we are now observing that this is going up. This is going up. So which simply means these goods are substitutes. So it's the same thing that we have here. So the one is reducing, the other is going up. So the goods are substitutes. So you don't need to calculate anything in order to know what these things are. Now we've come to the end of this class. And like I said in the other class that it's in the other class on this particular one, that there should be a video on 3 simultaneous equations, how to solve them. So sometime we are going to have that. I can't guarantee if it's going to be the next class now, but then be expecting classes on matrices and how we use matrices to solve questions like this. So if you have any questions, please make sure you leave them in the comment section. If you want to comment us for what we are doing, we like that, so you can put that in the comment section as well. We are going to appreciate you as well for it. And if you have colleagues that you really want to know about this channel, you have your colleagues, your friends, or maybe your children, probably your teacher, your students, you can share this channel with them. So make sure it gets everywhere, and everyone understands economics better. I would like to see your face again. Am I the one seeing your face, or you are the one seeing my face? Don't worry, somebody has to see somebody. No problem. So see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed the video you just saw. If you want more of our videos, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Now there is a way to enjoy, to make the best of our YouTube channel, which is to go to the playlist section of every video or of every topic. So what you have to do is just type emoji economics on YouTube. When the page displays, make sure you subscribe. A bell button appears immediately, so you click on that bell button. Then go to the playlist section. So you're going to see videos, playlists, description, and all of that. So just go to the playlist section, and whatever topic you are looking for, look for the playlist and click on the video. Now our playlists have their classes, the classes arranged in a very chronological manner. So if you want to see a class on ISLM, so it starts from the beginning, the simple ones to the difficult to the complex ones. So if you want to see a video on, let's say, elasticity of demand, so you start from what is price elasticity, so from there then to the basic ones, and on and on. So I'm just telling you that in case you really want to make the best of this YouTube channel. And there's also one thing that I want to add, which is that our YouTube classes may not be enough for you. You may want you may want a regular interaction with the tutors and all of that. So what you just have to do is to check the description of the video. You are going to find a WhatsApp link. So but before you do that, I really have to tell you that clicking that link is going to lead you to one of our schools. It's going to lead to some of our schools. So we have MOGE School of Economics on WhatsApp, and we make use of our YouTube channel to run the groups. So the classes are paid for, so you're meant to pay for them. So to join our econometry school, so that is 2,500 naira per month, and to join our microeconomics or macroeconomics schools, so that is 2,000 naira per month. We also have we don't have classes, or we don't have schools of mathematical economics, because microeconomics has its mathematical aspects as well as macroeconomics. So the mathematical aspect of macroeconomics is treated in the macroeconomics school, and the mathematical aspect of microeconomics is treated with the microeconomics school as well. So I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.